All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for week 13, Stardom Cinema. Ladies, get your popcorn ready because this is about to be a fun week coming up. We know a lot of people are playing for their playoff lives right now. So things are about to get interesting. We got Hammer on board today from Hammer's House, repping Spotlight, repping TDS. We got a lot going on today, so it should be good. Hammers, get it started for us.
Yo, we are here finally. My YouTube channel here finally. We are live. We are ready to go. I am here. Guys, please, I want you to support every single description in here, every single link you see in here. It's all for the greater good. We got TDS, we got Spotlight finally working together. It took a little bit, but we're finally here. And for all you fantasy owners, all we're here to do is help you. I know for the viewers from Spotlight, this is a brand new thing for you guys to check out. For you fantasy owners, whether it be in a regular league or DFS, we break down the actives and inactives for week 30.
Jackson is going to play, but he plays on Tuesday, so that's going to be an interesting thing. Do you want to risk it for the biscuit, or do you go with your probably number one quarterback pick that you had, probably top 3-round guy in Jackson? So I think that's going to be something a lot of people are going to be watching.
I'm like iffy because I wasn't expecting him to come back for another week or so. Like I was kind of predicting that within the next few weeks, the Ravens were going to be like 6-7 and borderline still trying to get in with the wild card. So it's going to be an interesting play with him this week. And again, he pretty much had been exposed before the injury. Last year was a MVP year, but he's been exposed. Numbers have gone down significantly compared to his MVP run last year.
Now, do we only put that on Lamar? Or does that partly coaching? Because in my opinion, if you look at what he did last year, he was a much more efficient passer. And now it just feels like they don't even throw the ball in some instances. I remember it was one game they literally just ran it every down in the fourth quarter. So I mean, schematically, I feel like I don't know that they're not being as creative as they were last year. It doesn't look like the same offense.
I told you during the preseason when we were breaking down the top quarterbacks going into this year that he pretty much said that he actually wanted to pass more than to run, and it looks like they've done the complete opposite. So it's hard. I know a lot of fantasy owners are still high on him, especially like even DFS are somewhat still high on him, but he's not one of those guys that I would consider right now anyways as a must or a top 5 quarterback to have in your daily fantasy lineups right now.
Yeah. And again, the biggest thing about him that made him so appealing was his rushing stats. Like he would get all those rushing stats. Plus last year he threw for 35 touchdowns. So when we look at it, his passing regression is the reason why he's not as usable, because rushing wise, he's similar to what he was last year. Passing wise, he's nowhere near that. And I think that's what's really hindering his fantasy scoring output. Like when you really look at it, if he was able to get close to the touchdown numbers and yardage that he had last year passing the ball, statistically speaking, he would be a lot better off than he is right now. With that being said, I don't know how many people have better options at quarterback than Lamar Jackson, especially because of that rushing upside. He could break it off for a 60-yard touchdown run, and all of a sudden he's, again, one of the top scoring quarterbacks of the week. So he has a safe floor, but his ceiling just isn't as high as it used to be.
Good morning, Key. Hope all is well. Can't wait to jump on with you guys later on for our kickoff show at 11 o'clock. I see we have a question already that is from Timothy Clark.
Pull it up on the screen.
For the flex position, let's see.
Cool.
Do we start Tim Patrick or Hunter Renfrow in the flex?
Who's the quarterback right now for Denver? Is Locke back?
There's some quarterback that's there.
Yeah, well, I mean, last week we said that, and it was horrendous. There was only one pass completed, and it was to Noah Fant for like fucking 15 yards. It was disgusting because I started Fant, but I know Tim Patrick. If he has Locke there, I would definitely lean more towards Tim Patrick. But he's put up solid numbers. He looked more like the number one. I don't trust Carr at all. Carr is not trustworthy. I don't like, even versus the Jets. I'm liking Booker this week because you're gonna lean on him. But Carr, my God, like I don't even want to start Waller anywhere. Like Waller has been like inconsistent over the last couple of weeks, and I think that's mostly due to just game plan because he's not getting the ball.
But against a defense in the Jets that give up a lot of points to tight ends, he should be able to shine today. And Hunter Renfrow, us Raider fans, it's not third in the yardage, it's third in Renfrow. And he definitely is a great option on third down for them. It's hard to decipher. I'm kind of leaning with Tim Patrick as well, though.
Yeah, again, that also depends on the quarterback. If they don't have Locke there and they're running like a second, third string quarterback, I think you have to really think about that. And I'll be honest with you, you might have a better option on your waiver wire. I would just do a quick check there because there's a lot of guys hurt and a lot of guys getting opportunities to play for a little bit.
Keith, you're asking for Lamar Jackson or Mitchell Trubisky. Trubisky is back as a starter, obviously. And now he's got his favorite shiny option in Allen Robinson, too. That battery is... But I would not take Lamar over Mitchell Trubisky just because of the slide that the Bears have been on this season.
Yeah, and Mitch Trubisky, even when he's been out there, he hasn't looked good. He hasn't been throwing the ball great. I know that Allen Robinson this week was on the injury report. He's dealing with his own type of injuries. Allen Robinson has been one of the most disappointing wide receivers right now that I've seen coming into this draft. Everyone had high expectations. But a lot of people thought that Allen Robinson would be Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin is quarterback proof. Allen Robinson, those quarterbacks, Nick Foles was even worse than Trubisky. I was like, oh my God, how is that possible?
Here's another one I just saw from Mike 50. Need 2 running backs, Hunt, Zeke, Booker, Snell, half-point PPR, and Lamar, Taysom Hill. Who do the Saints have again this weekend?
The Saints have a good matchup, if I remember correctly. I think they're
playing Atlanta.
Yeah.
They're playing Atlanta in Atlanta. Atlanta is now 2-4 in the Dome after beating the Raiders last weekend. We won't talk about that. But
so running back wise, I would start Zeke and I would start Booker, only because Hunt is still on the timeshare. He hasn't really been finding the end zone, which means he's really, really much more touchdown dependent. Booker's workload and Zeke's workload will definitely be worth it. Lamar versus Taysom Hill is a really interesting situation because of the fact that Lamar Jackson is the better play. But when you look at Taysom Hill, he's the guaranteed play. We're still not 100% sure that Lamar Jackson is going to play. And Lamar Jackson plays on Tuesday. So you have no kind of like wiggle room. If he doesn't play, you got to pick up the other guy that they have, the third string guy that threw the touchdown to Marquise Brown. So I think that's a really sticky situation. But if you just want to go at upside Jackson, if you need the safe play, you go with Hill.
Delusional Tanner, half-point PPR, pick 2. I'm guessing that's Christian Kirk, Williams, Myers, or Perriman.
Is that Mike Williams from San Diego?
Jacking it, Jack.
I will assume that it's Mike Williams from San Diego. I would have him in there, and I would probably have Myers in there, just for the fact that Myers is the number 1 pass catcher that the New England Patriots have right now. Williams has been super solid. He's facing a Jets team that oh no, he's not facing the Jets. They're facing New England. So actually, I wouldn't go with Williams. Maybe Perriman would offer a better shot just because the Jets are going to be down. Well, theoretically speaking, the Jets should be down in passing to catch up. Myers is definitely the safest of all 4. Williams is in a kind of an interesting matchup, but because more than likely Bill Belichick is going to be playing heavy versus Keenan Allen, he might also have a shot to go off. So Williams to me is the biggest toss-up. I would probably lean just to him at second because he's the most trustworthy.
But I want to go back to what you just said in regards to starting Zeke. You're going to have Zeke. You're going to put Zeke in your lineup against Baltimore's defense?
Over Hunt? Yeah.
What?
Hunt is in a timeshare. Zeke got the full carries. Workload there is going to be significantly more trending towards Zeke.
Hunt and Chubb, it's like almost on a week-to-week basis with Hunt and Chubb. They're practically putting up the same numbers. And Zeke has been another one since Dak went down. He lost his own identity since Dak went down.
Oh, I agree with you there that since Dak's gone down, he hasn't been great. But if you look at it, last week or 2 weeks ago, Kareem Hunt had 13 rushes for 11 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 catch for 10 yards. And then last week versus Jacksonville, he only had 10 rushes for 62 yards and 2 targets. In half-point PPR, if he's not getting the touchdowns, that's just not going to get it done. That's why I would go with Zeke, just because he has more of a workload in order to get that possible touchdown and extra yardage. If I was to do pick 2. RB and a flex. I think this one is pretty easy.
Booker. All right. So for those that don't know right now, Josh Jacobs is out with an ankle injury. Devin Booker is carrying the load today. He's averaging 5.5 yards a carry right now. He has been a workhorse these last couple of weeks. And against this defense, he should have a field day. You know, Gruden's offense is more of a ground and pound more than anything else. They're averaging almost 29 carries a game as a team. I would definitely go with Booker and use Claypool as well.
Yeah, I would agree with this. It's really hard to bench Zeke, but he does have a bad matchup. Booker's in a great matchup. He also catches passes, so he gets that extra little bonus. Claypool has been super solid, and without Connor last week, they threw the ball almost 50 times. So it's going to give him a good amount of workflow for you to feel confident in starting Claypool. Claypool's been very consistent, even since Deontay Johnson's come back.
Let's see. Asking, this is tough. Alex Smith or Baker Mayfield?
I would say what's on your wire. I would say what's on your waiver wire, because you have to have better than that.
But honestly, and it's like no knock at all, I would definitely go with Baker. Sorry.
Yeah,
I would go with Baker right now.
Who's Washington playing?
I gotta look at that. Washington football team is playing. Why do I not see this up here right now? They're playing Pittsburgh. Oh, no. Yeah.
No. I won't go with them.
Go with Baker.
Yeah.
Please go with Baker.
Or if you don't go with Baker, look on your waiver wire. You might be able to find someone that has a little better matchup to roll with.
I'll tell you right now, though, that matchup that Baker has, it's a fairly even matchup against Tennessee. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game today. It's gonna be an interesting game. I don't think it's gonna be like I don't think they're gonna blow the doors off them. I think it's gonna be early in the beginning. I think it's gonna be a back and forth matchup, and then probably coming late in the second half, or late in the second quarter, Tennessee may start to run away with it.
I think it's going to be like the Colts game last week. The Tennessee Titans had the Colts blown out by halftime. So I think
that's what I'm saying. Like late in the second quarter, I feel like Tennessee will start to run away with it by then.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't see that being a win for Cleveland. I don't trust any of the Cleveland receivers now. Odell's gone. Yes, Landry's halfway decent, but in this one, it'll be interesting.
I'm sorry, I don't got the game day chain on yet. That'll probably be for the kickoff show, but I do have my Waller jersey on this morning. The other ones are hanging up, and I just got my Jason Witten one yesterday. So, Raider Nation,
you got a
Raiders. I hope y'all are ready for this beat down today. We're getting some payback after that massacre at MetLife last year, and me and Sonny were there as well for that. So yeah.
Question: if you guys lose to the
do that.
Do you guys jump off the cliff, or do you kind of drive off the cliff? How does that work?
Don't do that. Don't do that, because I tell you right now, I got the whole. I have the whole Raider, the whole Black Hole Nation in here right now. They will gang up on you. Don't do that.
Man, don't do that. Listen, there's a possibility. Can you trust Carr? I don't think so.
Here we go.
He might fumble twice. How many fumbles does he have on the year? Like 6?
7. Shut your whore mouth right now. All right, this is a family. This is a family show. We're moving on. So I'm going to give you guys a quick breakdown of, as of right now, our actives and inactives for Week 13. This is subject to change within the next 3 hours before kickoff for the 1 o'clock games, and then you still have a couple down the road for later on. So the 12 games for today so far for the Browns at the Titans. For the Browns, Kaderil Hodge is out with a hamstring injury. Taywan Taylor, neck injury. He is out. Denzel Ward, he is out. Questionable for the Browns. Nick, say it again.
Denzel Ward from Cleveland is out.
Denzel Ward is out with a calf injury. Questionable for today is center Nick Harris with an ankle injury and defensive tackle Vincent Taylor with a knee injury. The Titans, Adoree Jackson is out. Jonnu Smith, knee injury, he's out. Tackle Isaiah Wilson, he's sick. Well, I'm going to assume COVID list. Questionable, Roger Saffold, ankle. Defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons with a knee injury. Your Las Vegas Raiders versus Jets. as most of you guys know, have been paying attention this week. We got breaking news on Friday that Jonathan Abram was already listed as out with the knee injury. Malik Collins is out with the hamstring and ankle. Josh Jacobs is out with that sprained ankle. That's why I'm saying go with Booker today if you are trying to start a running back. Maurice Hurst, defensive tackle, ankle and calf injury. Isaiah Johnson is questionable. Hurst, Johnson, Trayvon Mullen, he's illness. It was probably a COVID list as well. He's probably going to be in today. They're all down as questionable. Out for the Jets is guard Alex Lewis, not injury related. Questionable for them is guard Pat Alfine, shoulder, and George Fant is questionable.
Is this the game that Denzel Mims and Crowder really blow up versus a weak Raiders secondary?
Shut up, Mimsy. Keep it up, bro. I'm telling you. I'm gonna make you do. You're gonna buy me. You know what? You already lost that bet with Sanders.
Well, first of all, they both got injured.
He got hurt. No. Sanders was hurt. Sanders was hurt way before that, so don't even start.
Sure. And now Jacobs is hurt.
Raiders win today. You owe me a bottle. And because everybody that's watching sees that now.
I'm saying this is a trap game. This is and you guys haven't.
This is all anybody that plays anybody that plays the Jets is a trap game. All right, we know what it is.
So what happened versus the Falcons?
From what Carr said, things weren't prepared right. This, that, and the third. Practice was flat. You know what? We move on. And I said it last week. New week, new team. Leave that shit in the past. We're done with that. We're moving on to playing the Jets today.
Jets first win.
Here we go. Bengals and Dolphins. For the Bengals, you got Tony Brown out. You have Alex Redmond out. And a whole bunch of questionables. Christian Covington, BJ Finney, Clark Harris, Darius Phillips, Mike Thomas, Xavier Williams, Brandon Wilson.
I think the biggest theme that you've said so far that's really drawn my interest is in Cleveland. Cleveland missing Denzel Ward. AJ Brown, I think, is now really set to go off. I didn't realize that Denzel was out. Like, I think Tennessee definitely could put work in this week.
Yep. Stay tuned. We got for the Dolphins, Salvin Ahmed. He is doubtful with a shoulder injury. DeAndre Washington, hamstring injury, questionable. Solomon Kinley, Malcolm Perry, Tua with the left thumb injury. He is questionable as of now.
That's the biggest toss-up right there. Because if Tua plays, I don't really like Parker.
Do you see him getting that spot right back once he's fully healthy, or do you think they're just going to ride out the rest of the season with Fitzpatrick and it was more of a let's see what you can do for us now, and then we ship you off like we did Josh Rosen in the past?
I think it depends on the record and it depends on where they are in the playoff standing. If you sit Tua out, which I feel like they will, and Fitzpatrick takes them down and wins this game, and they're right there in the playoff hunt, I think they might go back to Fitzpatrick. If they end up losing, it's a season that's going back on the downhill. You put Tua back out there, you see what you have, because they still have the Texans pick that they're going to get this year. So they'll have a very high pick that they can maybe trade up for a quarterback.
Let's give it up. Let's give it up one time for the human troll reel, Damien. Really, bro? Really? It's not happening.
Damien's on the same wavelength as me, bro.
Y'all need to get off of whatever it is that you're smoking.
And then the one last thing I would say is this week, Myles Gaskin is the one name that you didn't mention on the injury list, while you mentioned all the other running backs from the Dolphins. He should get a fantastic workload, Gaskins, and he's someone that I definitely have in daily. He's something that definitely, if you have him in your leagues on the wire because he's been out, pick him up. He's going to get a good workload. He played great before this. I definitely trust him.
So we're asking, what up, Jeff? Good morning. Sup, fellas? I need one for flex. Who you believe is the best option today? Judy, Mims, Henderson, Rieger, Brandon Ayuk. Judy is back today from injury. My boy Taco over there apparently is high on Mimsy for some strange reason because he's a Raider hater, I guess.
No, Mims has been halfway solid as a rookie coming back since his injury. So in deeper leagues, he's someone that you're looking at going into the final couple weeks. Jerry Jeudy last week really didn't do anything, and I don't think he's going to do anything this week unless Locke is back. That's the big caveat to Jeudy is we got to see what happens in the quarterback position. I definitely think that probably See, Darrell Henderson last week started losing some of his touches to Cam Akers, which leaves you to feel a little bit uneasy about going back in with Henderson, and especially since his quad injury, he hasn't been performing up to the same level. Rieger's in a situation where Carson Wentz just throws the ball over too much. He only had like 2 or 3 catches last week and really didn't do much as we expected him to do. So I'd probably lean towards Ayuk and Mims. One why I say Mims is because the Raiders are more than likely going to be out in front early, which will lead the Jets into passing situations, which is going to give Mims a shot. And then Ayuk, just because he's the best player of all those guys that you have there, and he should be starting this week
James
as well.
White or Frank Gore at the flex?
If it's standard, I would go with Frank Gore. If it's PPR, I'd go with
James White.
Only in PPR because
right.
the workload in Patriots is so weird, man, because you have White. Yeah, I know Burkhead is out, but then you still have Harris, and then there's the other one, Sonny Michel's coming back, and then there's another running back that they have. So it's really dicey over there. But I know James White is starting to play good, starting to get hot. Frank Gore actually had a really good week versus that Dolphins defense last week, actually, too. That was something I noticed.
Which was kind of a surprise because everybody was so high on Dolphins defense the last couple of weeks. Like,
Dolphins still had a great defensive game.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I'm shocked that Frank Gore put up those numbers.
Hold on. What is this? Just like the person who places last place in the Olympics, myself or anyone could.
Now, my question is, how do you feel if they beat you?
Yo, Raider Nation,
get them! I'm having fun in the black hole, baby.
Crowder and Mike Williams.
I think that one is leading towards Crowder just because he's the number one. But I don't think since Crowder's come back from his injury, he's really been that effective. But I would still lean to Crowder on this one.
Mike Williams has been a great second option for Justin Herbert. His primary guy, from the numbers I've seen over these last few weeks and watching a couple of games, has been Keenan Allen. That's his battery mate right now.
Here's the one good thing about that this week, though. They're facing the New England Patriots. So more than likely, Gilmore, and they'll probably shade coverage towards Allen, which will give Williams a possibility at an outside blow up. Just saying, he's an outside blow up. I can't guarantee that one.
Oh, look, Damien has a question now.
Joku,
Boykin, or K-Met at flex?
Boykin. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit my trusty. You must be in like an 18 team league, bro, because you got some options here that I'm like, ugh. This is a case that I would suggest Mims. So just saying. Njoku hasn't scored a point since week 8, so I do not recommend him. Okay, Boykin. He hasn't scored a point since week 9, so I can't recommend him.
Well, who is this? Miles Boykin he's asking about?
I hope so, because the only Boykin I put in here came up from Baltimore. Let me just double check.
If you went between him and Joku,
Miles Boykin hasn't scored a point since week 9. So
dude, is your fantasy team even winning? Like, bro,
are you even playing? And Komet, he scored 1.8 in week 12, 1.7 in week 10. So I would go with Komet over all of them, but it's not good, man. It's not good.
I would go for a waiver wire pickup if you can.
Yes. Hit the emergency eject button, drop them off your team and get somebody. Anyone. Jesus. This is like what the other guy said. It's like a person who places last in the Special Olympics. Anyone you pick up could do better. Shout out.
Thank you, CG. I appreciate that, man.
GMB has a great point here. Mims is one of 8 players to have 40+ yards in their first 5 games. He's good with Mackay and Quentin. 49ers. Who do the 49ers play this week?
I'm gonna pull it up. Niners have. Who do the Niners have? And where are they playing? Do they have a home? No, they do have a home. They're playing Buffalo.
I'm saying I think that Buffalo can win that game, actually. That's a toss-up. That's what you call a pure toss-up right there.
Titans or 49ers standard need a defense. I would go with the Titans.
Chargers are also facing a weak New England team.
Yeah, but Chargers shoot and I'm sorry, Jake, you're one of my favorite guys with Spotlight. But your defense shoots yourself in the foot week after week after week. So I'm sorry, bro. but I would have to go with Tennessee's defense for that.
Because remember, we got Tennessee walloping those Browns. They're gonna beat them down, son.
Jimmy Graham or Dalton Schultz. That Schultz is Cowboys, right?
Yeah, I'd probably go Jimmy Graham. Because it's not either one of them really great options, but I would lean towards Jimmy Graham because he's been more consistent. Arizona.
No, oh yeah, I see it. I don't know, man. Playing in that big toaster in the desert.
Arizona defense has actually been pretty solid.
Yeah, they have.
A couple of weeks. I think coming up though, after this week, they have the Giants, the Eagles, and the 49ers. So if you can get Cardinals defense, hold them for next week, and you'll be good. No. I really hope Henry doesn't go off for 200. I'm sick of him ruining my daily fantasy lineups. I've been hitting money, but I can't hit big money because guys like Henry really fuck shit up for me.
Hey, all right, family show.
Henry's been unfamily-like for me. It's not been good, but Henry, yeah, I mean he's so hit or miss though, right? This season, and the Browns actually have a good rush defense, so I wouldn't get my hopes too high for Henry. I do think this is a Tannehill week, and as we all know, I'm a Tannehill fan. 49ers. Oh yeah, their home stadium is in Arizona.
For 2 weeks. Their last game of the season is a home game, but I don't think that they were going to be playing Arizona for that last game. There's a chance that little temporary injunction they have right now might be lifted by the last week of the season, so they might be back in Santa Clara, but there's no guarantee on that, so don't quote me on that.
I got breaking news for everyone as well. Tua Tagovailoa.
Just say Tua.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Tua is active and will start week 13. So if you have Parker in your team, get him out.
There you go. So I guess that solidifies it now. It wasn't just an experiment. He's going to be the face of the franchise for a while.
Well, I think this is a situation where, I mean, the Dolphins are going to be playing the Bengals, so this should be a game that they win regardless. So you put Tua out there, you see what he has. If he throws the dud, you can go back to Fitzpatrick next week. I think this is Herbert just because you want to be safe, not sorry. Lamar's not guaranteed to play.
They're playing, and the Chargers are playing the Patriots, right? All right. And I know this is new for the guys at Spotlight, so for all you viewers, I absolutely thank you guys for coming in here.
Absolutely.
The one thing that we've talked about when I've done this with Taco, with TDS, is when it comes to a young quarterback playing against Belichick, he will expose you real quick. He loves to take advantage of the young bucks, and that's what we're going to see happen today. So buyer beware. I would go Lamar this week.
But I'll say this: the one thing about Lamar, again, we don't know how he's going to be playing off of COVID. We don't have the guarantee he's going to be active yet. He's trending towards active, but he hasn't been given the official. And the one thing about Herbert that my boy Hammer has been telling me, he's showing those flashes that we saw in Oregon. He was supposed to be a top guy. The Patriots defense isn't what it's normally been. So I just trust Herbert more based on what he's done this season. I mean, so far, Herbert's been outplaying Lamar when they've both been healthy. And with having Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and you have Austin Eckler there, a full complement of his weapons, I do tend to trust Herbert more. He's just been, we've been calling daily fantasy with Herbert since probably like week 4, where we're talking about starting this guy over a lot of other studs because Herbert has the arm, he has the legs, he has the talent. So I know how great Belichick is versus rookie quarterbacks, but if there's someone that could buck the trend, it definitely would be Herbert. And here's probably agree.
Here's one thing to consider as well with Mike Williams, especially having Stephon Gilmore on the other side against Keenan Allen.
He might have a shot.
Mike Williams may actually have a pretty good game because that's going to be his go-to now.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider.
And the other thing to look at is also Eckler last week had about 13 catches. Austin Eckler is going to be huge for this quarterback because guess what? when Bill throws those exotic schemes at him and he doesn't realize where the blitz is coming from and he just has to chuck it off, that's going to be, Eckler. When he's looking downfield and everything's covered off and he just needs a quick little dump off, that's going to be Eckler. So what I'm saying here is get Eckler in your daily fantasy sports lineups. He's 7,000 in FanDuel. Yes, go get him. He's worth it this week. I'm definitely liking Eckler. Hell, I think that the Patriots lose this week. Just being real.
We'll see what happens.
Chargers, baby.
But
that team in the division.
I want to thank everybody for coming in, asking your questions. We definitely did our best to help you out, and we hope you have a successful, happy Sunday with your fantasy teams, whether it be in DFS or regular league. We're gonna roll out though. Make sure to check out Taco on the Daily Sporting. We got a couple of things coming up for them today, and Spotlight. We will be back on at 11 o'clock with our kickoff show.
Yep, I got something special cooking. I have a $22 FanDuel I'm running. I've been playing pretty much even most of the year. I put in 100. I'm back up to 69. I was down to 50, so I've been really hitting on the $4 444 big jackpot one. So I'm playing that one, and I'm also playing a $22 one. So I got a bunch of spicy DFS takes that I'm gonna be bringing today. So if you're interested in that, definitely come checking us out at the Daily Sporting, same name, Facebook, YouTube. All that good stuff. Yeah, man. I'm hyped. You hyped?
I'm definitely hyped, and I definitely appreciate you coming on today and doing this with me.
I just want to end it with one thing. Jets, Jets.
Just in the season.
I have to get this win, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's about that time as we roll out. And like I always say, remember to wash your hands and your asses. We are out.
Peace.